Fred Hoiberg now on the Rich Eisen Show. Coach, how are you?
Hey, good morning, Rich. How are you?
I'm doing fine. So 2 days after the victory, how's it sinking in for you?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was such a whirlwind, a crazy 3 games, the way it happened. Now obviously we're on to the next one, so really haven't had a ton of time to think about it. Besides after, that night of cutting down the nets, for the second straight year, which was a great feeling for us. But the way those games played, it was such a blur. After finding a way to come back 10 down with 4 minutes to go against Texas, and Monte Morris hitting the heroic shot there at the end, and then moving on and playing, a very high-powered Oklahoma team and trying to get your guys down after a big emotional win. Another game we fell behind double digits early, found a way to pull back even at the half, and then again made a lot of plays down the stretch that we had to make, and got a little bit lucky with Spangler missing a shot right there at the rim, and then getting back to the hotel at midnight and having to bounce back and play the championship game at 5 o'clock against a very talented Kansas team that's won our leagues 11 years in a row. Again, down 17 with 19 minutes to go, and just, really got our legs underneath us and spread out the floor. And George Niang and Monte Morris just made play after play for us there down the stretch. But, it is a great feeling. We had a great fan base down there. I think we outnumbered Kansas even in that championship game. So, great for our team, great for our fans. But at the same time, we got to bounce back and get our focus back. And have a great couple days of preparation heading into this game against UAB.
Yeah, Coach, I mean, I have the scores right here on a piece of paper. There are no pictures here. And as you know, there's no pictures on a scorecard. But when you are falling behind as you have in these games and then still winning, do you just go right back and look at the tape as to why you have fallen down at that part, or you just are moving forward and just telling these kids that they need to do better? How do you as a coach handle that moving forward in a tournament situation?
We do go back and watch and just really try to look for trends on why it continued to happen. A lot of it, look, it was based on who we were playing there. I mean, Texas, was a team that had won 4 straight going into our game, and really fighting for their lives to get into the tournament. And they look at the length on that team, the skill of an Isaiah Taylor. Felix was hitting shots against us that game, so that had a lot to do with the way Texas played us. Oklahoma, same thing. And then that last game, I attribute that more to our legs. I really thought, bouncing back and not having a full 24 hours to recuperate in that game, had a lot to do with that. But, look, this time of year, you got to find a way to dig in and give whatever you got left in your tank, and our guys did that. And I guess that's the good sign is now going into March Madness with the tournament. You can come back from anything. It's never over. And, that's the one thing that I think we took out of this tournament is just how we battled back and stuck together through the adverse times. And that's what great teams do. So, again, you don't want that to happen. But it is a good sign that your guys continue to battle through those tough times.
Iowa State head coach Fred Hoiberg joining me here now, number 3 seed in the South region in the NCAA tournament, taking on UAB in one of the first games of the round of 64. I still call it the first round. I know they're not happy when they do that anymore. Right, Coach?
I hear you. I do the same thing.
Yeah. So when you get up to the podium, you have to make a mental note or maybe an actual note. Call it a second round game or a round of 60.
I've corrected myself many times the last couple of years.
Okay, good. So you're not we're lockstep in that. It's 12:40 p.m.
We're on the
Eastern.
same page there, Rich.
Yeah. That's a tip. 12:40 p.m. Eastern on the round of 64 coming up on Thursday. So do you also, because you do have to, obviously the concept is survive and advance, and when you advance, it's just another game 2 days later. Do you bring tape of SMU and UCLA just in case? Or are you too superstitious to do something like that?
Well, I won't watch any of those guys, but I've got assistant coaches that will break down everything that those guys are running right now. My sole focus is on a very talented UAB team that played an unbelievable Conference USA tournament. Jared Haas, I played against Jared back in the old Big 8 days when he was at Kansas and I was at Iowa State. He was tough to guard, I'll tell you that. And, it's a team that he's got playing with a lot of confidence right now, and they play so hard, and they've got great length. I mean, their size is up there with a Big 12 team. So we've got to go out there with the sole focus on UAB, and then if we're fortunate enough to get by, then we'll worry about the next one.
Yeah, and just again, I know you're focused on UAB. Larry Brown is obviously the coach at SMU, having done it for so long. You've been at this as a player for so long and now coaching. Do you even just pause for a second to marvel at how good he's been for as long as he has been in a profession that burns so many people out?
Well, yes, I am. I'm burnt out. It's my 5th year. I don't know how he's still doing it, but I'm excited to see Coach Brown. He was my first NBA coach. I played for him for my first 2 years in Indiana. Absolutely think the world of him, and a lot of the things that we do, are things that I got from Larry. Just small detail stuff, and he's so good, and a master tactician. So I'm excited to see him down there. Whether we play him or not, who knows? Obviously, we want the opportunity to get by and play the third round game. So it's going to be great to see him. But yeah, for him to continue to have the passion that he does, it's amazing. That he continues to do this with at such a high level.
And Coach, before I let you go, I have to bring up last year you did the Hoiberg dance that everybody was talking about when you advanced at around this time last year. And your daughter said she was embarrassed by it, your teenage daughter. And we couldn't help but notice, on Saturday, when you won and your family came up and hugged you, it sure looked like you told your daughter, "I won't embarrass you this time." Is that, did we read lips properly there?
No, I love embarrassing my kids. That's what it's all about. To see, my wife and my daughter, to see them up there hugging each other, that's so fun to see that in this time of year. My 3 boys, my twins, and my sophomore son, to be able to share that moment with them. My wife and I both grew up in Ames, and had such a tremendous passion for Iowa State University, and both our dads were professors here. Mom's elementary school teachers, and to be able to share that with our family. My kids all grew up coming to football games and trying to get them back here as much as possible. So to be able to do that and share with your family, it's really cool.
Coach, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it. Good luck to you moving forward, and I hope we get a chance to speak again real soon.
That sounds great. Thank you, Rich.
You bet. That's Fred Hoiberg, the mayor, at ISU Mayor 32 is his Twitter handle.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.